Jai Hind everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the new topic in Python programming, that is Python conditional statements. So what are the conditional statements? Whenever we program, situations may come then when we require to decide what to perform next. So based upon certain conditions, we decide which steps to be performed. So for that, conditional statements are used, and in Python we have two conditional statements, that is if statement, and for if statement we provide the condition, and the condition can be in either of the form, that is we can perform equal condition, not equal, less than equal to, greater or greater than equal to. Whatever condition we want to check, we simply write in the syntax as if b is greater than a colon and print b is greater than a. So if I want to check certain condition, and based upon that condition I want to perform certain operation, what is going to be the syntax? Along with the if keyword, I simply write the condition followed by the colon, and with the indentation, or I can say by creating a block, I can simply write print, and whatever data or whatever operation I want to perform, I use write that operation within that print statement. So for example, if I want to check the if statement, so if a is equals to 33 and b equal to 200. Now I do not want to I forgot to provide indentation while writing the statement after providing the condition. In that particular case, an error will generate. For example, it is written if b is greater than a, print b is greater than a. So it will generate an error because after colon I have not provided an indentation. So whatever part I write with the condition must be written in a block form, and block is always written with the indentation. Next, we have LF statement. LF statement means if I compare with other programming language where we used to write the if statement in ladder form, that if, if, else, like this. So for that purpose we use LF statement. It generally works when previous conditions were not true and we want to try another condition. For example, if I write a equal to 3, b equal to 3, if a statement b is greater than a, print b is greater than a. Elif a is equals to b, print a and b are equal. So in this particular case, the first condition, that is if, is false. So it will skip the section which is written within the if statement and will check the condition which is written in elif. And as this elif condition is true, the segment which will get printed is a and b are equal. Next is the else keyword, where it catches anything which isn't caught by the preceding conditions. Means if I have written multiple conditions and all the conditions are not true, I can say that all the conditions which are being specified in the program may get false for any reason. In that particular case, else part will get executed. So for example, if I have written a equal to 40 and b equal to 33. Now if b is greater than a, I have written b is greater than a. Elif a is equals to b, a and b are equal, else a is greater than b. So here, if I check the first condition, it will be false. If I check the elif condition, it is also getting false. So else part will be executed by default. So all the preceding conditions are getting false in one or another way. So the else part will get executed. Next, I can also use the shorthand if. For shorthand if I have single statement present within the if statement, for that purpose I can write one line if statement. So for that there is no need of indentation, because as I can see here also that there is only one line in if statement. or I can say that in else part I have only one statement. So for that purpose, there is no need to write multiple statements in Python. I can just combine it in a single statement by writing this print statement over here and else part also followed by the single line. As you can see here that A is equals to 20, B is equals to 30. So what I have written print A if A is greater than B, else print B. So by writing this statement, I have merged or I have combined multiple lines of a statement in a single line. So this is the flexibility which is being provided by the Python programming, where you can merge or club multiple lines into a single line code. So the length of the code will automatically reduce. Now, the AND keyword in the logical operator AND is used to combine conditional statements. As we have discussed in the operators part also, we can use logical operators when we have more than one conditions present with us. So we can simply use various logical operators for that, that is AND or not. So here we consider the example of AND operator, how to use logical AND by merging more than one condition. So for example, I have taken that A is 200, B is 33 and C is 500. So now I want to check whether A is greater than B and C is greater than A. So it is written if A is greater than B and C is greater than A, print both conditions are true. So with the help of logical operator AND, I have combined two different conditions, that is I have checked whether A is greater than B and also checked whether C is greater than A. Now if these two conditions are true, then only print statement will work. If any of the one condition is false, then this print statement will not work. Okay. Now similarly with the OR operator, if I want either of the condition may get true and I get the result, so for that I will use OR operator. So what I have written the initialize the variables ABC, and after that if A is greater than B or A is greater than C, in that particular case it is written at least one of the condition is true, means either A is greater than B or A is greater than C. If any one of the condition is true, in that case the print statement will execute, otherwise there is no output. Now nested if. When we have multiple conditions and within the which are based upon the previous condition, for that purpose we use nested if. So one statement is written x is equals to 41. Now I am checking if x is greater than 10. Now print above 10. Now within this statement I am also checking either x is greater than 20 or not. So within this indentation, within this block only I have written if x is greater than 20. Now here I have checked and written it is greater than 20. So this is nested if. So but you have to follow the indentation rule that whatever is the next if statement must lie within the must lie inside the first if. Next we come to the Python loops. What are the various loops which are being supported by Python? So loops are generally statements which are being executed sequentially one after another until the condition is true. So in Python we have while loop with the help of which we can execute the statements. This is the flow diagram for the loops where one condition is checked, and if this condition is true, the conditional code or the segment of code which is being written under this condition will get executed, and again the condition is checked. If this condition is still true, then again the conditional code will be executed, otherwise it will exit from the code. So we have while loop and for loop which are being supported by Python. So while loop we execute a set of statements as long as condition is true. And for while loop, the syntax will be first you have to initialize the variable, then with while statement you have to write the condition, and after that within the while block you have to provide the updation condition. So example, I have written I is equals to 1 means I is being initialized by value 1. Now I have written the condition that I is greater less than 6. So up till and unless I is less than 6, print statement will work, will print the value of I, and contrary I is being updated by 1. So what is going to be the output? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as it will become 6, the statement will become false and we come out of the loop. Next, we have the break statement. So break statement is used to stop the loop at a particular or certain condition. So if I write while I is less than 6, print I, if I equal to 3, break. Now, as soon as I becomes 3, I have written the break statement. So as soon as the break statement will get executed, the loop will be forcefully stopped and it will not execute further. So what is going to be the output of the code? It is 1 and 2, because as soon as I become 3, the loop will be stopped. Next is the continue statement. The continue statement will skip particular iteration. Means if I have written I is equals to 3, continue. So what it will do? It will simply skip the value when I is equals to 3 and will start continue from I equal to 4. So as soon as I will become 3, it will skip that third portion, third time execution, and will again start from the fourth iteration. Next is the else statement. This is the again a new feature which is being provided by the Python programming language, which is not supported by other languages also. That is the else statement. Usually we use else statement with the conditional statements. For example, we have used it with if part. But in Python, we can use this else statement with the loops also. Either we are using for loop or the while loop. So whenever whenever the looping condition gets false, we simply write the else part and we can print the message that whatever condition is defined within the loop condition is negated or has been false. So else part is the optional part. You can write or you can skip this also, but it is the good feature which is being provided in the Python, which tell us that now loop is no longer active, no longer true. Next, when the for loops, when we deal with the for loops in Python language, in general, for loop, what we require 3 statements, that is initialization, then termination and the updation. These 3 statements are being written while we are dealing with the for loops. But in Python language, the for loop is used for iterating over a sequence, and that particular sequence is either list, tuple, dictionary, set or a string. And from those data types, we can simply use the for loop. For example, I have taken a list named as languages, English, Hindi, German, French, and I have written for language in languages. Means the variable which is controlling the for loop is language, and the sequence which I am using for within the for loop is the languages. So print language. So what it will print? It will print English, Hindi, German and French. So whatever data is being written in the list will get printed in sequence. Now looping through a string. So whenever I have written, suppose I have defined a word Python, it is a string. So for X in Python, print X. So what it will print? It will print Python character wise in different statements like this. Now break statement and for loop. Again, we can use break statement and for loop also. So for example, I have taken a list fruits, apple, banana, cherry, and for X in fruits, print X. So what it will print? It will print all the fruits which are being available within the list. But as it is written X is equals to banana break. So as soon as it it read banana, it will stop. So what is going to be the output of the program? It is apple and banana, and after printing banana, it is written if x equal to banana, break. So as soon as banana is printed, it will check the value of x, it is equal to banana, it will become, the condition become true, it will break. So it will no longer go further to print cherry. So what is going to be the output? It is apple and banana. Okay, next, continue statement. So continue statement is responsible for skipping the particular iteration. So for example, again the same list is there for fruits, and for x in fruits it is written if x is equals to banana, continue and print x. So first we are checking the condition whether the value of x is this particular fruit or not, and after that we are printing. So first x is apple, so this condition will fail. What is going to be printed? It is apple. Now second is banana. So if x is equals to banana, it is continuing, means it will skip the iteration. It will not print x. It will again update x. So x is cherry. Now x is checked. It is false. It will continue and print x. So output is apple and cherry. Now the range function. So whenever we are dealing with the looping, first we have studied that we have started from the list or tuple or a string. So whatever is the sequence, one by one we are reading it from 0 to x. But what if I want to deal with the index part of the value? So for that I have range function. So for x in range 6, print x. So what it will print? It will print starting from 0 till 5. All the values one by one in sequence till 6. That is starting from 0 and 1 less than number which is being written over here. Next, the range function defaults to 0 as a starting value. However, it is possible to specify the starting value by adding a parameter. Means we can also write simple range 2, 6, which means we have to start from the value 2, and starting with 2, we can end up to 5. So whenever I provide the range in this way, 2, 6, so what it will print? It will print 2, 3, 4, 5. That is starting from 2 and 1 less than 6. Now range function by default increases by 1. Means if I have written range 6, so what is printed? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Now if I want a gap of 2 or 3 in printing the numbers, so what I have to define? I have to define the steps, that how much gap I want within the numbers. So for that I have written the start point, end point and the gap which is being required. Now if I print, so what is the starting value? It is 2, and what is the end value? It is 20. So till 19 it will print all the values, and what gap is created, what gap I want between the two numbers is 3. So starting from 2, 3 ka gap hua, next 5, after 3 gap 8, after 3 gap 11, 14 and 17. After 3 gap it will become 20, so the loop will stop. So this is the benefit of range function, where we can provide the start point, end point and the gapping point. Next, again we can use the else part in the loop, for loop. So when the loop, for loop will become false, it will print the else portion. For example, if it is written x in range 6, so it will print all the values 0 to 5, and after that else part will be executed. So it is not compulsory to write the else part, but we can opt if we require. Next is nested for loop, means we can use one for loop within another for loop. So if x is in color and y in fruits, print x, y. So whatever is the color is the outer loop and fruit is the inner loop, and within that we can use. Now last comes the pass statement. If we want to create a loop which do not print any statement, we simply write the pass keyword. So if I write for x in 0, 1, 2, which means there is nothing to be printed over here with this particular true condition, we just simply pass the step. So simply pass a statement result. So there is no output for this particular. So I hope the concept of loops and conditional statements is clear. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.